Hey man, every man experiences a moment when the curtain falls. It's not dramatic, it's not noisy, it's not even angry, it's just still. You sit there staring at your phone, or maybe the empty side of the bed, and it hits you. Not like a slap, but like a deep, resonating realization. She doesn't care. Not the way you care. Not the way you hoped. And for the first time, it's not sad. It's not painful. It's illuminating. Because once you realize she truly doesn't care, you stop trying to convince her. You stop begging for the storm to calm. You start building your home somewhere else. After a 12-hour shift, she didn't care. Yet she still made time to check on you. She didn't care when you suppressed your pain and listened to hers. She didn't care when you put pride aside to apologize for something you didn't do to keep peace. You kept thinking, if I love her more, she will love me back. But love is not a transaction. And in her world, effort is expected, not appreciated. You kept showing up. She drifted along. And now finally you awaken. Not in anger, but in resolution. You won't break. You'll be free. Because the harsh truth is, no one wants to loudly admit, most women weren't made to value your struggle. They care about how you make them feel. The moment you stop being the source of emotional highs, she drifts away. And as you sit there thinking about everything you built together, she's already telling her friends she feels different. And different is code for, it's over, but I'll act like I'm the victim. She's not bad. She's not broken. She's just not you. She doesn't carry your weight. She doesn't stay up at night figuring out how to fix things. You were playing chess. She was playing vibes. And once you realize this, something changes. You stop trying to reason with someone who lives through emotions. You stop rereading messages, trying to figure out what went wrong. You stop expecting closure from someone who shut the door without hesitation. You stop being the good guy in a story where your pain is just a side plot. And that's when power returns. Not because you won, but because you let go. You dropped the illusion. You saw the truth. And now your back is straight, your mind is calm, and your energy no longer flows towards someone who never valued it. It stays within you. Remember when you sent a vulnerable message and she left you on red? That wasn't a mistake. It was showing you exactly how much she valued your inner world. And you still rationalized it. She's just busy, overwhelmed, tired. No, brother, she didn't care. And once you face that, once you stop fighting her, an unsettling calm envelops you. The same calm men talk about when they see the sun after leaving prison. Emotional freedom is like this. And it begins the moment you stop expecting her to understand the pain. She didn't try to feel. She didn't cry while leaving. She didn't hesitate deleting your photos. Blocking you didn't make her stumble as if you never existed. This isn't because you meant nothing. The connection was emotional, not fundamental. The moment her feelings changed, her loyalty changed too. And you are left with the photo album of a relationship she has already forgotten. Don't chase her. Burn it. Not with anger, with acceptance. Let her go. Not because she deserves peace, but because you do. You're fighting a war she's not even aware of. You gave everything. Attention, presence, softness, and she treated it like background noise. But now you are silent. Not from pain, but from power. You don't need to block her. You don't need to announce your exit. You just stop showing up. And that silence screams, making her wonder if she ever truly knew you. Because the man who once illuminated her world is gone. Not lost, not painful, just gone. And brother, that silence is louder than any farewell. When women finally realize you don't care, you won't care either. And this is not the end. This is your beginning. Your version that no longer chases, convinces, or suffers. The version that builds, leads, and attracts. Walking through the world with calm energy and sharp vision. No longer dependent on love, grounded in reality. And from that point, everything changes. Not because you forced it, but because you finally saw it clearly, deeply, permanently. She may try to come back, and it won't even be her fault. She will feel something she cannot name, the void left by your absence. Not your presence, your messages, your touch, your energy. Because she was never dependent on your time. She was dependent on your consistency. You were the calm in her chaos. And now she faces the storm she created, alone, lost, confused, and reaching for you. Not because she wants you, but because she wants relief. Don't confuse love with need. You are not here to comfort those who break you. You start noticing how much of your life was spent explaining yourself to people who never listen. How many sleepless nights wondering how to fix a relationship you didn't break? How often you compromise your vision to avoid conflict, and finally you realize it was never love. It was performance, conditional approval, a relationship where your value depended on how well you played the emotional game. And now that you've stopped playing, the rules no longer apply. You are real, and that is enough. The crazy thing is, once you stop caring, your life improves dramatically. Not because you became heartless, but because you stop giving your heart to the undeserving. You stop filling leaking cups. You stop entertaining women who don't add value. You don't hate them. You simply move past them like a driver avoiding potholes. You don't get angry. You know it will wreck your suspension. And now you move smoothly, strategically, selectively, because your peace is no longer negotiable. The life you've built is a non-refundable deposit. The more you withdraw, the more they reach forward, because feminine energy is attracted not to aggression, control, or uncertainty, but to certainty and masculine grounding. And when you stop orbiting her emotional world, you notice the shift and start moving in your own direction. She will text, share stories, accidentally bump into your world, but now you don't react. You watch, you listen, you don't respond. You are no longer proud of attention. When your heart is given to someone who treats it like an accessory, you are protected by awareness. Your energy speaks everything your mouth never had to. I'm not a placeholder. I'm not an experiment. I'm not your therapy. If you want me, match me. Because now you are no longer the man lowering his standards for compassion. You are the man who enters a room and elevates it. If she can't rise to that level, you let her fall without guilt or explanation because you have learned the greatest lesson of emotional sovereignty. You owe no one access to your peace, not even the woman you would have sacrificed everything for. She will notice the change and acknowledge it, and she will be right. You evolved. The right parts hardened, the important parts softened. But what she really means is, she can no longer reach you. The old buttons she used to push no longer work. The silence that once shook you now feels like power. And this change scares her because women can sense a man who has broken free from emotional manipulation. The show ends, the lights go out, and you face a reality she never prepared for. You've gone, and you don't look back. Not because you've cooled off, but because you've clarified who you are, what you offer, and what you will never tolerate again. You haven't stopped loving. You love better, wiser, slower. You no longer rush closeness. You no longer confuse chemistry with compatibility. You don't chase butterflies. You build homes. You don't look for someone to save. You look for someone who is already healed. And you'll notice this. The less you care about results, the more people want to know why. But it's no longer about them. It's about you. You've stopped spilling blood for women who bend neither, who break neither. You move not by challenge, but by direction. You know where you're going. You know what you've built. And if a woman is aligned, great. If not, you don't stop. You don't persuade. You don't beg. You move forward because your value is no longer negotiable. decided in sweat, solitude, and silence. Every step you take is a statement, not here to be loved by everyone, but to be respected by the right one. When they feel your transformation, they may reach out. They may remember good times. They may try to reconnect with your emotionally available version. But what they won't understand is that your version is gone, unburdened by anger, unbroken by heartbreak, past the point of return. You no longer speak to the man who needs love. You speak to the man who has regained himself. And that man doesn't reopen old doors because he knows the fire that waits behind them. He learned, healed, leveled up. You stop trying to be chosen. Stop waiting to be noticed because now you understand the power of being strong. You choose who gets your time, who gets your loyalty. And no, not every woman deserves it. Not every pretty face belongs in your story. Interest does not equal worth. Sweetness does not equal stability. You have standards that no charm can bypass. You will still meet women stuck in the old paradigm, testing, manipulating, restraining, leaving crumbs. But now none of it works on you because you've broken free from the emotional matrix. You see the strings before they move. You read patterns before they repeat. And most importantly, you don't react. You watch, assess, and if they don't meet your standards, you silently and completely detach. You're no longer chasing highs or lows. You're seeking balance. Not a project, a partner. Imperfect but present. Rare but not desperate. You are patient because you know the difference between a spark and a lasting flame. You've grown tired of burning in short-lived fires. You want something permanent. And this only happens when a man knows himself and refuses to lose himself while trying to earn another's love. And you'll notice this. The less you care about outcomes, the more they'll want to know why. But it's no longer about them. It's about you.